So welcome to this preview of the English Premiership that I'm going to do with you here with my Betmaster tool that you can get your access to if you follow the link in the description. If you like what you see, or if you like my channel, if you want to support my channel, leave your likes, leave your subscription here, leave your comments if you have any questions or doubts, and it's absolutely free to this end. And if you want to have this amazing tool, which I have to say, I mean, it's like a dream come true for me, because I've been starting in 1990, 31 years ago, with my own personal Betmaster tool, which was using those same algorithms. And I always dreamt of making it possible for you or everyone in the world to use those same algorithms and to use this tool. And the approach is as simple as can be. We try to determine the probabilities for the outcomes of the football games, and we compare these with the market. I'm going to reset the prices here because I've tried to compile those prices without any assistance. But I see here what market thinks. So I can turn this off. Show bookmakers. So I don't see anything now. Leicester, Chelsea. Of course, Chelsea will be clear favorites. But maybe it could be 160, 165 even, but Leicester are no good at the moment, so market will be lower, computer will be a bit higher. I guess we can still think about it. Oh, 2.04, that's a bit too much maybe. But of course Leicester are considered to be pretty good, so I was maybe going a bit too low. We can do this game by game actually, and why not? I mean, check it instantly what market thinks. 177. So I was going a bit too low, considering Chelsea too heavy a favorite, but still my computer would somehow fancy to go with, possibly with Leicester City. We get a 460. Well, that is not massive, right? 431. If you look at the shape of the teams here, then you would see Leicester are a bit behind, 2.88 points. That's the first figure I look at. And the 4.199 that Chelsea are ahead is, so they are in good shape, they are in bad shape in some sense, right? Aston Villa, Brighton, not so easy to compile. I mean, should it be pretty even maybe? Aston Villa not so good. Brighton are in fact, well, maybe even favorites, right? The wayside. Maybe even Brighton are slightly ahead, over 2.0, that's for sure. Computer makes it the home team favorites, which I do not fully agree on, but here it's the same, so I can't complain. I mean, I can't complain about my tool, just about my brain maybe. But 137, 108 or 240 sounds too low to me as an Aston Villa price, right? We can check here, of course, as well the shape. So Aston Villa are minus, they are plus, so that would fully justify. We can do this here as well. They are slightly in worse shape, they are in better shape, so we compile it again. So we have a 260 now. This is going along with market. Right? I mean, those small adjustments you can always make, but of course, if this season progresses, we will see that later. And maybe you'd sometimes forget about what had been the last games or so. So we have a performance value kind of. I can show you here, in fact, as well, because we can check this here. This goes a bit faster, although it's maybe not that detailed. As soon as you have in the lowest column, if you have something red, it means not so good. and here it is okay. Here it's a bit minus, it's a bit red. Here it's pink or something. What is it called? Here it's very red, and it's rather green on the other side. It's always green on the other side, right? That's what I learned. Anyway, Burnley against Crystal Palace. I could check it here, maybe in the first place, to see that Crystal Palace are pretty green while Burnley are pretty red. But it's not. It's a bit distributed. So Burnley are okay. Crystal Palace seem to be good. So pretty even game. Burnley should still be slight favorites. 250, 260 like Aston Villa maybe. 256 like Aston Villa. So it's exactly the same price. It's funny. The computer makes it the other way around. Maybe we saw why a bit because we had this phenomena here. They are still a bit more red, but of course we could still consider why not, in fact, right, going with Burnley. We can check lots more details if we, where would we do that? We could even open the table, right? And then we could compare here. Burnley are pretty low, 8 is less than expected, while Crystal Palace, oh, they are up here, 15, so that's quite a bit. Okay, then I would, and Crystal Palace are hardly losing a game, and on the road they are 1-2-2, pretty okay. Burnley at home are 1-2-2 as well. That's pretty red here, although it's not terrible, right? In fact, they are, but the one win only, they have only 2 losses, and so on. So that would in fact tell me we'd rather stay away here or do some adjustment. I mean, the win percent, they are behind, right? Because they are not winning. The loss percent, they are better. So they drew too many games. But they are green all over, right? Crystal Palace. So same thing here, but a little more work to do. In fact, we could even... No, they are not better, they are worse, right? Well, I mean, 5% is not a lot, right? 8% maybe, and they are rather something like this better. Right, so we have this very even game then, with still a possibility to go with Burnley. Very slightly, we get more than that. Newcastle, the richest club in the world, against Brentford with a new coach. Newcastle, I don't know what to do here. Newcastle should be favorites now. I don't know, but in fact that's... I mean, Brentford, they lost their very fine shape. Still a bit green, but also getting a bit rosé here somehow. Pink. Newcastle, of course, red all over, but also not terrible, I would say. Well, they are in terrible shape, but I can't say what market thinks about this game now. Still slight favorites, the home side is okay to me. That's very close to market, so we simply leave it as is, right? I was going to the wrong tab here again. Norwich against Southampton. Norwich so awful. Southampton improving a bit recently. Southampton clear favorites under less than 2.0. Computer will once again make it more than 2.0, I guess. But it shouldn't. Oh, 262. This sounds like a bit way too much, right? But still, market is also above 2.0. So, I mean, I wouldn't. Of course, you wouldn't wish to go with Norwich at the moment, right? That's too dark red here. Well, it is okay for Southampton, right? It's too dark red, so some adjustment. I'm not doing them manually here. We could do it in the team settings as well. Maybe at some point I should show you, because you would wish to learn. You don't need to be so careful with that, right? If you think Southampton, I would always say market makes them a bit higher, maybe sometimes a bit better than they deserve to be. But if we make them 0.78, they catch up with Brighton, Aston Villa. But Norwich, they are just awful. But 0.40, everything under 0.5 is really, really terrible. I'm gonna save it, but I don't think we have this much of an effect now by this. I just wanted to show you that you don't need to be afraid, right? Now we have 225. Now we are pretty close to market. We wouldn't have a bet anymore, and we would carry this forward, so we wouldn't have to mind too much to worry about next match day when once again computer wants Norwich. We know why, and maybe they will. Computer was right. I can't say that, but you wouldn't love to make such a bet at the moment. Manchester United a bit doubtful, but Watford, are also a bit more red than green, right? Manchester United as well. They will be clear favorites, no doubt, but it should actually be a 155, 160, maybe even a bit more. I don't know. 139. Ooh, that's a bit low. 152. I mean, if it suggests us now a bet on the bad side, right? But why wouldn't we try? I mean, I was getting it wrong. Computer sometimes can convince me. We see that here, that the performance is not so good. You have some space for adjustment there, but still 152 is miles above. And Manchester United are still a strong side, aren't they? Maybe next week again they have to fight in Europe. Wolves against West Ham. Okay, should that be even? West Ham are so good at the moment. That's but Wolves caught up a lot. That's turning to be green, right? Some values red, some green. I will try to improve these and explain it a bit better maybe. But we see prices here. I don't know why, but slight favorites. West Ham should be right. Market will agree. Very slight favorites. Okay, market guess should agree to that. Yeah, that's very close. So we are once again very good, which means we do not really have a bet. Liverpool, I spied that one already. Of course, that is. It is not even fully green what Liverpool are doing in the league, but it's turning green now for Arsenal, as we see here, which is well justified, starting with 3 losses and unbeaten ever since. But 148, the price I saw, is a bit too low, but computer won't be a lot higher, 160 maybe, 169 even. So we could consider to go with Arsenal not to lose the game. 255, it's very close. It's in fact good enough. Of course, I would be very doubtful about this because I was a bit against Arsenal recently, and they proved me wrong. But I still wouldn't fully trust them. While on the other hand, I liked Liverpool very much. But the 160. So if you want to see the double chance, is it that? Yeah, that's double chance, right? Just to see that we can compile this market as well, and I have to compile it now. It's not being done everything at once, as Lenka said it, but it's 246 on the double chance for Arsenal not to lose. So we can as well skip it. But there is some justification. You see, it's not a huge margin here. Just a demonstration that we can compile this as well. Manchester City against Everton, that should be a 130. It won't be a lot more ever. And of course we know that Man City are struggling in the league, while they are still most like the best. And I liked very much what Guardiola says, whatever he says. It is Everton not in full... Monty full, it's slightly red, but not terrible, of course. So both in similar circumstances, similar shape, you could call it. 130 maybe. What he said was You have to be a bit patient. I mean, sometimes results are coming, sometimes they aren't. It's 135. They are playing good football, and we will get the result. And it's still football, and sometimes a single goal destroys the whole game, right? Here it would very much advise us to go with Everton. Well, if you like it, I mean, this is just a bit exaggerated, right? Just once again, we check out the double chance. Why wouldn't we? Just to show you how to turn this one into prices. Of course, it's something like 4.0, a bit below 3.8 or something like that it makes on 3.9, 3.83. So I was pretty close, right? And we get a 5.0, so there would be a huge margin. We know why, but that could be a bit exaggerated. But it seems they all love Manchester City, do they? I don't know. I mean, Everton, not perfect, but also not awful. Leeds are in some dire straits, but Tottenham as well, not getting their campaign fully underway. Oh, that's very poor if I do things like that. Obviously, it didn't do much harm. But I'm on the double chance now. I shouldn't do this with a one finger slide over my mouse because it's going to lose this. So anyway, what do we compile here? What do we see here that had been red? That had been more red. Tottenham under 2.0, maybe 160, something like that. 65, one shouldn't be a lot more than that, right? I can check that beforehand. 170, okay. And computer makes it 176. So I'm happy. I was making a bit, but I was approaching it 160, 165, maybe 170. We are close enough. Computer, no, it wouldn't advise us anything. So we just have some very, very small indications. This one sounding a bit silly. This one as well, going against the big guns with some decent prices. Also Leicester, we meant to think about it, but we don't really want it. The Norwich indication we lost for some good reason. Newcastle, well, I can't recommend any better than this. The over-under I wouldn't like to do at the moment. I would rather recommend you do this, try it out yourself with the assistance of the tool. And I'm gonna leave you now and come back next week with the next prediction on the Premier League. Thanks a lot for watching. Leave your likes, comments, share it, subscribe to my channel, check out the tool. Thank you very much.